So let me not waste your time. Let us get straight to it. Today we will be talking about TikTok. Oh, I'm sorry. We will be talking about SEO. And if you do follow me on TikTok, you already know what my content is all about. So if you do have a website already and you are not seeing much traffic in your website, you need to up your SEO skills or practices. And yeah, so without me talking non-stop, let me show you the screen. So this is a template that I used for my website called applyusa.com. So let me first do the testing so that you guys can really understand what is going on behind the scenes. So this is the template that I used. Let me just open it in the browser. Okay, it's opening this side. Let me take this page. Let me take it. No, before I take it here, let me open this browser. Let me open this private browser. Let me take this page to. No, it doesn't want to be taken here. Okay, let me just say copy. Let me copy the link. Oh, maybe that's because I'm using a okay, let's do it like this. So as you can see, the code that I'm editing here, as you can see, it says title of the page 50 to 60 character. It is this page that I'm opening here. So the website that I have, I used this template, and for me not to be sort of charged and things like that, I must keep the design. I mean, the footer must specify that I used a design from HTML5. So the name of the website that I'm talking about, it's applyusa.com. So it's this website that I'm referring to. As you can see, it's approved by AdSense. There are ads on this website, right? But that's not my focus today. My focus, as you can see, the title that I have, it's not the one that is recommended. But then before I go into explanations, let me just take you through the steps. So first, let us test my website as to what score does it have. So I will say website speed test, right? Let us select this one, first link, and then we will type the name of my website. It's applyusa.com, right? Let it load. And then, wow, today it was quick, the loading. Okay, it was this loading. As you can see, it says here core web vitals assessment failed, and then for more info you can hover on this icon. Why is it not showing me more info? Or maybe it's still loading here. Okay, let's give it a while, let it load. Okay, as you can see, they say my SEO performance is 100%, best practices 96, accessibility 83, performance 69. Excuse me, and I don't really recommend, or it's not a good look or a good performance to have orange results here, yellow or orange. Everything must be green. So that means there are things that I need to work out so that my website can perform better. And then here they do give you recommendations as to what to fix so that the performance improves, like the height here. That means the pictures I have on my website, let me cancel this, on my website, they don't have a fixed width and height that I have set. So it's recommended that in every image at least you set a specific width or height. So if I can ask for more info, as you can see, they are telling me that the pictures that I have, they don't have the width and they are also the height, and also size. It's always an issue to me, the potential size that I can save. Basically here they are telling me that in total, the images that appear in that page, they are like 1 megabyte, 1.6 megabyte, and I can minimize them to have 1.3 megabyte. So meaning there is still room for improvement that I can sort of decrease, use a tool that can decrease the size of my website so that it sort of loads faster, because the less the size, the more fast it is, right? So now let us go back to my code, right? So this is how you can check the performance of your website, but what I want to talk about is SEO. So if we come to my code, if you come to my code, basically the reason why we need to have AdSense in our website, it's because we want our websites to be easily found and to be recommended by search engines. So imagine if someone is searching, my website here does talk about education in United States. And then imagine if someone is asking a question as to what are the best colleges in United States. The search engine, in this case, let's make an example of Google, needs to know what website is talking about what the person is asking, so that my website can be shown in the results. So if Google cannot understand what is the content of my website, there are a lot of chances that my website will never ever even appear to any search, because Google doesn't understand what content am I focusing on. Even though Google does scan your website to check for keywords there and there, you still need to follow basic principles so that the search engines can easily detect what your website is about. Since whenever the bot or the tool that they use to scan your website is scanning your website, there are specific sections that it is designed to check to better understand your website, right? So let me not make too much noise about this one. Let us first talk about the good practice that you can practice so that your SEO score can sort of go high. So first one, we are going to talk about the title tag. And the title tag, basically it's this one. Let us come here. It's this one. So in here you are basically going to write a catchy phrase that talks about the content of your website, and the characters that are recommended, it's 50 to 60, meaning whenever we are counting, we are going to be like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, etc., etc., meaning the recommended size is 50 to 60. And then someone can ask, why is it 50 to 60? Let us go to the internet where we were searching online. Here we were searching website speed test. As you can see, the text that I'm hovering, website speed test, is the title tag. And also this one, website speed test, and then it says SEO Tools, meaning the title that we are talking about, that site, it's this one, and the recommended length, it's 50 to 60 words. That is because if it becomes too long, it shows like this, the three dots at the end. And then for many users, they don't really like this, because now at this stage they are not looking exactly for the content, but they want a title that will make them click on your website. So if it's hidden just like this, the user may not really be impressed, you see. So if it's a title tag like this one, the user right away understands the title as a whole, right? So the recommended length, it's 50 to 60. And then now we come to their description. So the description must support the title tag. So whatever that you have written here as a title tag must be supported in elaboration in this line. So the recommended characters for this one, it's 120 to 160. So a description is what you see here, the one that says use this one that I'm highlighting, this one is a description. So the recommended length is 120 to 120 words. If it becomes too long, it will have something like this, the three dots at the end. So now you do understand the basic titles. And then also what you need to understand, it's a logo. It's very important. It gives a touch or a boost, or it gives trust to the user that, oh, this website, it's sort of professional. So for you to add a logo, all you need is this line of code here, the one that I'm highlighting. If you are using WordPress or a site builder, I haven't used those tools in building websites, so I still need to check it out as to what can you use. So for you, the normally images, we know them to be JPEG, PNG, things like that. But then for an icon in a website, the recommended file extension is .ico, right? And then also the dimensions, it should be, by default, an icon is 180 by 180 pixels if not mistaken. But then also it looks well if it's 250 by 250 pixels, still it can look well. So this line of code here represents what will be here. As you can see on my website, I have this A here. Yes, the A that you are looking for, it's the icon. What I need to improve there is the length of the title, because apply USA is not really enough. Yes, so yes, now we move on. Let us go to the header tags. So the header tags is the H1s, the H2s, the H3s. Basically, they are the ones that talks to the importance of your content. What is the main focus? So if we are scrolling here, first we see an H1, right? In terms of the H tags, the first one is H1. So H1 is the one that is seen as the major core or focus of your website. So if we are going to the website that we are referring to, it's this one. It's this one. Is it this one? No, it's this one. So the H1 that they are talking about there, it's this one, which says, hi, I'm editorial by HTML5 app, right? So when the search engine tool is scanning your website, this text will be associated as the major core focus of the website, right? And what you need to keep in mind is that the best practice for you to structure your website is to have the H tags to be logical, to follow each other. You can't have an H2 and then have an H1. You see, H1 must be the leader, must be the one that goes first. And also you can't have H4 before having H1 or H2, you see. So you must sort of have an order, like you see in this one, there is H1 here, and then before we get to see another H, we also see H2, and then after H2 we can see H3. And then now, since you have this order, you can go back to H2, But don't make it a mistake that you go to h1 multiple times. There should be one h1 in your script, but then for h2s, for h3s, you can go back and forth, because this one can be a subtitle and then h3 being a subtitle. But now it's normal for your content to have multiple subtitles. So if we continue scrolling down, as you can see here, there is h3, there is h3, there is h3, still we don't have h4. And still it's possible that here we are also going back to h2. But then remember, we didn't go back to h1, we went back to h2, meaning the h3s are subtitles for h2, and then h2 is a subtitle for h1. Yes. And then if maybe there was another more content we were going to focus, maybe inside of below h3, we can also add an h4. So that is also what you need to understand. The structure of your content must be logical. Yes. So another thing that you need to do to improve your SEO is to describe images. By default, when you are adding an image, let us see on our website, how many images do we have? We have this one, right? Inside our first content or paragraph, I can say, right? So if we go to the top, we can see that we have an image here. So for your website to be understood and recognized by search engines, to understand the content, especially the ones for images, you must describe the image. What is the image you are showing? So in here, when you go back, it's a 10 brown background. We can say here 10 background. You can just say 10 background. So this means whenever a person searches searches for a background that is 10 in color, things like that, your website still has chances of popping up, because it does contains a content like that. So you should also describe your images here. Now moving on to internal linking. Internal linking basically says, if the person is reading your content here, and then somehow it turns out that you have another content that talks about this. Unfortunately, this is a random text word, so I don't know how to read this word. So basically, if you have another content that talks about the words that appear in another article, you need it's a best practice that you also reference that article here, meaning you will make this text a link. So let us put it into practice so that you guys can understand. So it's the first so this one. So basically what they mean here is that I will have to link another article which talks to what is relates to, what is it, onion onare, I think. And then also you need to describe the link, because Google now wants to understand what is it that you are linking to. So you can also put a real label so that you can describe the content of your website, and whatever that you type in here must be a description of the link that you are linking to, right? So that is a good practice for you to have internal links. So if we refresh here now, this is a link, and then the Google bot or the search engine bot, whenever it's is scanning your website can understand that, oh, this is an internal link, and what is it about, you see, so that it can also be able to understand the overall structure of your website. So that's internal linking. Now going to URL structure. URL structure, they're talking about this thing that is at the top. You see, whenever sometimes a person is telling you about a link, a very long link that will be like YouTube, excuse me, youtube.com/videos/ blah blah blah, excuse me. So that is sort of a URL structure, and the better words that you use, the more easily it makes a search engine bot to understand the structure of your website. For example, here I am in the home page, and I am seeing basically the home page, and then now let us say I want to read this article in detail. Unfortunately, it doesn't take me anywhere, it still takes me on the same page. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that the overall structure here at the top, it should be something like you can say blog at the top, and then /, and then you write the name of the title that you are reading, or maybe you can say introduction, and then you use hyphens to SEO, and then .html, for example, if it's an HTML page. So the URL structure, basically we are talking about this, meaning also the URL structure must be very understandable, so that it can make it easier so that even if someone is searching introduction to SEO, the search engine can also pick your website up, because it does relate to whatever the user is searching for. So that is also a good practice, having a solid, clear URL structure. Yes. And then now let us move to what am I doing? So now let us move to another thing that can boost your SEO, is their mobile friendliness design. This means that when the website is in a different screen, for example a mobile phone, it should look nice. For example, this one, we can associate it to the size of a tablet. Unfortunately, I can't scroll this one to a deep smaller size, but then whatever that they are saying, they are trying to say your website should look good in all sizes, whether it's a tablet, it's a desktop. Oh, you're not seeing it. Yes, here. So here we can associate this one with the size of a tablet. And then what the practice is talking about, oh, you also didn't see the example of the URL. Okay, now I'm explaining the example of the mobile friendliness. I'll go back to the other one. So there are also the looks, that your website looks good in all types of screen sizes. That can also boost your SEO. Now let us go back to the URL best practice again. So the URL best practice, Google recommends that, for example, let us go to my website, this one. As you can see, if I want to read this article, and if you are looking there at the top, unfortunately I didn't use hyphens, I used spaces. So that is why it's not really it's showing the %20%. So for some of you may not really understand what is happening. So that's something that I also need to sort of fix. So what's happening is that Google here on the URL wants you to have a clear URL. For example, mine is applyusa.com, and then / and then it says blog / and then because I'm fetching the data from the database, and then it sort of uses the title, and then here is the title of my of my of my of my article. As you can see, it matches the one that I'm hovering around here. American remote work opportunities, essential information. So as you can see, the URL is also talking with what my article is talking about. So that's a practice of having a good URL structure. Yes. The page loading speed, this is where you can test it. As you can see, the speed itself is here, the performance. As you can see, it also tells me where is it, if you scroll, it can tell you how much time it took to show the data, the metrics, things like that. So this is the data here, the speed index, things like that. And then here it is showing me how long it took for the page to load. As you can see, the first time it was empty, it started showing information here, and on the last frame, that is where the whole page had loaded, and then it can tell you the time it took, everything, the details are there. Yes, so as you can see, if you are checking here, it tells you the shift, that some of the things took 3 seconds, 2.2, 1 second. So that is the speed that they are talking about, and it's affected by the CSS of your page, the JavaScript, the size of the media that you have used. So yeah, also those are the things you need to consider. Moving on to number 9, the last one on this video, we are talking about the content. And the content is basically this one. As you can see, my title of my article is this one, and the content is this one, and also after the ad, the article continues. So what Google is talking about here, they mean when they say high quality content, they mean you should avoid duplicate, meaning I shouldn't be having 2 paragraphs that are the same, and I also shouldn't be having another article that is the same as this one. So the more duplicate content you have, the more your website won't be recommended. And another thing is that as you can see, I'm focusing on American. I'm also focusing on work from home, as it's a remote job, and also I'm focusing about opportunities. So all the keywords that relate to this thing, they must be implemented in the article itself in a natural way. For example, now I continue with the article. Remote work has become a significant feature of the modern labor market. As you can see, there is remote work here, but then the way I have used it blends very well with the article itself. So that is how you can improve the overall score of your SEO. And in case there are some of the things that you did not understand, or some of the things you feel like I didn't emphasize more, or I didn't make a standing out example, you can leave a comment here. And also you can also contact me on TikTok. I do answer every comment. Even here on YouTube, I do the very same thing. So I think you learned something useful from this video, and I will try to make videos where I'm making an example of WordPress, because many people nowadays they tend to use WordPress, and I am someone who likes hard coding. So, and some of the examples that I'm mentioning here, They may not be exactly implemented the same way whenever you are using WordPress. But then what you should keep in mind, it doesn't matter whether you are coding or you are using WordPress. The quality content you do have an idea about. You also have an idea about the image sizes that you use. They shouldn't be too big. You also know about the internal linking. I did show you. With WordPress, it's different, but also you are given a chance to put a description of your link, and also the media that you use, you must also describe it, like the images that I've shown you, the alt tag, you must describe the images. And also, even if you are using WordPress, you must also consider mobile friendly, even though by default it does fit well in a mobile screen, but you still need to make minor changes that and there. And also the URL structure, you do have power into manipulating it, even though you do use WordPress. And what else? Also the header text, even if you are using WordPress, you can still decide what hashtag you want to use. Just that some of you may still want to see a visual example of me using WordPress, and it's something that I will show you guys when I'm also the day I get my hands into WordPress. Also the description, the meta tags, the title. You can also do that with WordPress. On the normally it's when you are in the panel coding, on the top left corner, that's where you deal with uh, the title descriptions or title tags, the header, the body, the footer. So that's where you can edit the icon, the title, the description, and so on. So I hope you guys did watch till the end, because I believe that each and every second of this video, it's very important, and I'll be dropping more videos soon that talk about the creation of AdSense account, even though I think I do have that video. Also the strategies that you can use to gain more traffic. So yeah, let me end this video because I'm done talking about SEO, and see you next time. Thank you.